soap.
The Voice 17104.com. This is Zanetta Winfield, and you're listening to The Voice 17104.com. The Voice 17104.com.
Yo-ho! Here we go, y'all. It's the show. It's the show. Dougie, it's the show. It's the show. Hit it. Boom. That's my favorite part. We going in. Woo. What's happening, y'all? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? This is Kenny Robb on Kenny's Corner. And you know how I always start my show. I can't control what happens on the corners of New York, D.C., Chicago, or Philadelphia. But I can always control what happens right here on Kenny's Corner. That's right, that's right. So now, I got a guest. A special guest. A wonderful guest. Me and his mama was in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th grade together. Janine, big shout out to Janine, my girl.
For sure, for sure.
But I have Mikell Simpson. Mikell, the Juice Simpson. I believe he was number 5.
Yes, indeed.
He was number 5 for UVA. You should go there and watch that boy playing football. That boy can run that rock. He does so much in the community now. He loves the growth of children and their education and their development. We're going to talk more about what he does because he does a lot. But this young man has a big brain. A big brain, and his dreams. Somebody said if you tell somebody your dreams and they don't laugh, then your dream ain't big enough.
Ooh.
Then your dream ain't big enough.
That's good.
His dream, it's going to happen. I have never heard somebody tell me a plan, and I wish I had money, because I'd have backed him on the moment. I'd have backed him at the moment. He had me at Kenny Robb. Check this out. He had me. So I'm telling you, I'm proud of you, Mikell.
Appreciate it.
Proud of you, brother. Proud of you. We used to work together at PPI.
Yes, indeed. Good times. Good times.
Laugh, read, us.
Good times for sure.
Good times for sure. Good times for sure. He took care of the old head up there. He ran all over the place. No, you stay right there, Miss Kate. Stay right there. Stay right there. Stay right there. You ain't got to get up.
Put
Stay
your
right
time,
there.
man.
Yeah, you put your time. Stay right there. I get it. No. Stay right there. I got it. But Mikell, so how you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. Looking forward to the time change this weekend.
Yeah.
Spring's around the corner.
Spring's around the corner.
March Madness is about to begin.
Yes.
Yeah. I have to look forward for right now.
Well, you know, they're talking about, I think Congress is talking about not having the time change no more. Just let it go straight on through.
I heard about this.
They're going to stop it. Says there's not going to be no spring, back, forward, all that. You know, see, my dad dead and gone, but he was smart. Because he said, my clock is going to be right there. It'll get back this way eventually. My dad said, it'll be right time in a minute.
I'm okay. As long as the daylight is longer, I'm okay.
I don't care about the time as long as I get more day.
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as I get more day, I'm good. But Tiffany got Tiffany watching. Barbara Mosima. She got a middle name. It's my sister. I love her. But what's up, Brad? Brad, listen, Brad, I need your input. Hey, Tony, Dave Williams, what's going on, baby? We gonna kick this right here. We're gonna jump right into Deon Sanders. Have you heard some of these comments, Mikell?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Deon Sanders The reason why I got Mikell on here, because Mikell is a football player. He knows what it takes, not only to get out of high school playing football, but go to a D1 school and play football, and then get drafted in the pros. So he knows it takes dedication, it takes hard work, a lot of skill. If we're lucky, just a little bit of luck to get there, just to get there, just to say I put on the jersey. Mm-hmm. It takes some time. Deon Sanders. Now I know many of y'all think this is about sports, but this show is not about sports. This show is about setting a culture back 30 years when a black quarterback wasn't allowed to play football for various reasons. Hey Ray, peace and blessings. And keep watching, Am, because I need your input. He says, now that he's at a Division I school, coaching at Colorado, he goes, well, to lead my team at the quarterback position, you must have a 3.5 grade average, and you must come from a two-parent home. That's my quarterback. That is the making of what he would consider a good quarterback. Mikell, is that ridiculous or not?
50-50.
50-50. Okay, good.
So I'm okay with the grade point average.
Me too.
You definitely want a quarterback, that is intelligent, because ultimately, without a good quarterback being able to read defenses in split seconds and make adjustments, you're not really going to be good. I don't care what you have around that quarterback.
That's true.
Now, the part that I disagree super strongly with is a quarterback needs to come from a two-parent home.
Whoa!
Because if Deon can really sit and think about what he said, I'm sure he would retract what he said, right? Because now what he does is, if he holds true to that, he divorced in 2013. His kid wasn't even in high school at that time.
Correct.
So now you're allowing your child to have the opportunity to leave Colorado, and he didn't come from a two-parent home.
Right.
He wasn't recruited through a two-parent home.
Correct.
As these kids are going to be. So it's almost, like a slap in the face.
Hypocritical.
Absolutely. Because now, like I said, you got to take your son out of this running for quarterback because he didn't fit the criteria that you said. So, you can't bend the rules for certain kids. Or it's got to be flat. And there are phenomenal people who come from single-parent homes.
Oh, you know who one is? Barack Obama. Barack Obama. The president of the whole free world.
Myself. Raised by my dad. My mom was definitely around. Not saying that she wasn't, but I live with my dad.
You live with
Single parent home.
Single parent home.
And I turned out, I think, okay.
Oh yeah.
And I think I have the intelligence to play quarterback if that was a position that I would have chose to play. So I think that statement right there, I think if he could redo that, he would definitely change.
Now I'm gonna ask this question. Okay, now Anthony Elby said, I don't agree with Deon, but I think many coaches might recruit like this, but would never say it. Perfect point. That's where I'm going. Raymond said Deon does a lot of stuff for the cameras and media. Yeah, he definitely showboater. But this is what I'm saying. Had that been give me a quarterback. Give me a coach.
Lamar Jackson.
No, Alabama. I mean, who's the coach? College coach. Alabama. Nick Saban. Had Nick Saban made that statement, what do you think would have happened?
Asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it would have got blown up.
Woo!
Because one, Nick Saban is more of an influential coach, and people listen to him at that level. Yes, Deon Sanders is Deon. We all know who he is. But when we're talking that perspective, he doesn't have the resume remotely close to Nick Saban. So when you compare them, people are going to listen to Nick Saban a lot more right now than Deon. Like I said, Deon's just getting started, so he can prove us and get in that conversation where his resume is, kind of similar to a Nick Saban. But right now, that's not the conversation. But it's still, even for Deon to say that.
But when Nick got a lot of pushback from that statement. What do you think?
Absolutely. Like I said, because of the influence he has in college football world, they're a dominant school for the past 15 years, right? So now you got a top high school quarterback, that may come from a single parent home, that may have dreamed of playing at Alabama, and now that statement just killed all his hopes and dreams. As Deon's statement, like I said, he's a great pillar to the Black community, right? Everybody knew Deon since he entered the league, since he was at Florida State, and we followed him, right?
Right.
So he's winning a lot of the recruiting battles based off of who he is.
Who he is, right?
Absolutely, right? So those kids, like Allen Iverson, they idolize him.
Yes, they
right?
do.
He's
yes,
like
that.
He's that culture impact like Allen Iverson, right? So now if I'm a quarterback and I'm in high school and I want to play for Deon, now I know he's at a Power 5 school. It's more realistic for me to take that risk to go play for him and go to the NFL as opposed to going to Jackson State and trying to make it to the NFL. Yeah. So now you pretty much tune out a whole entire Black community because realistically, the majority of Black people, we are in single parent homes.
Yes.
So you eliminate. So basically what you were saying without saying is I need a Tom Brady white type of quarterback to lead me to a national championship.
So he never said color, but everything pointed towards color.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Simpson said nothing but talk would have happened to Nick. Yeah, they probably. But you know what? I think Deon has kind of said what they wanted to say universally, but couldn't. See, sometimes I keep thinking that he's a puppet now. He's a Herschel Walker. He's a Supreme Court Justice, Clarence Thomas. He can say things. He can say things that everybody else agrees with. That's not our color. Mm-hmm. And then go, well, I was Clarence. That wasn't us.
Yeah.
But that's the message they want. Mm-hmm. So Deon definitely sent the message that they wanted. And so, yes, my quarterback should be smart. But it's a whole lot of smart quarterbacks that was raised by a mother or a father. You got to be smart to play running back. The playbook for the running back ain't half the playbook of the quarterback. He got to know what hole to hit, when to block, when to go out for the. I mean, it's just as big, right?
It's down to details where you got to know which lineman is blocking who, what techniques they're in. You got to identify the defense just as a quarterback. When I sit back there, you got to identify the front, the safeties, how many linebackers are in, are they nickel? You got to identify all that, and it's instant. You just don't have the ability to make the actual play checks at the line. That's the quarterback's job.
Oh. So the offensive line ain't got to be smart either.
Center is definitely a very intelligent person on the offensive line.
All the thing the center do is just put the ball between his legs and go to the quarterback. Right?
No.
No. No.
He identifies the front for the quarterback and IDs the Mike linebacker, which sets the defense for the quarterback to know what defense they're in. I mean, every football player, like it's school. You have to, like I said, all you see is, videos of people training, working out, doing these type of things. But people don't, document the hours that they're putting in watching film, because you watch film more than you actually do physical activity. And that's to learn and understand what you need to do in these key situations. Yes. And like I said, it's repetition because these situations, they're very fast.
Yes.
They're fair. So you have to make these split decisions decisions based on your skills and training that you have went over and over. Just like the Army, they go through these repetitions over and over and over every day for when that moment presents itself, they know how to act.
Then it makes you look good on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So I know oftentimes a center can look up and change a play based on what he sees. He can check. Hey, yo, let the quarterback know. Yo, look. You see him pointing all the time.
He's identifying the Mike linebacker.
Yes, he is.
That's what he does.
The who?
The Mike linebacker. That's the middle linebacker.
Oh, okay, the Mike linebacker.
The Mike linebacker sets the defense.
I knew that. I knew that. Right. So you got to know what's going on. But now that statement in itself was ridiculous. He could have just left. I want my quarterback. I want my players to be smart. I want my players to have academic achievements.
Absolutely.
It's okay to say that. Black, white, Hispanic, don't matter.
Yeah, that's a standard.
That's a standard, right? But when you start talking about single family homes versus 2-parent homes, now you're crossing the race barrier.
Absolutely.
Now you're putting us back. Now you're saying that Joe Gilliam never should have played quarterback. Mm-hmm. Now you're trying to say that
Lamar Jackson, who mom represents him as an agent.
Yeah. No, but let's go before that. Now you're trying to say Doug Williams was a fluke. Mm-hmm. That Randall Cunningham didn't change the way the position was played. All these things. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, Randall Cunningham. No, what's his name? McNabb. Right, McNabb, right, for the Eagles. You never even seen his dad. His mom was on commercials with him. His mom rode for him. Come on. That is the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. Then Brad says, what does 2-parent homes have to do with playing football?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely
now,
nothing.
Like I said, I can 100% agree and back the GPA, the testing, the IQ, and all that, because ultimately, too, you got to understand these guys are student athletes. So when you go to campus,
student first,
absolutely, you have to pass these classes.
Right.
So if you're not, intelligent enough to pass these classes, or intelligent enough to seek out and get help and tutors, to kind of solve these learning issues, then you're going to fail out. So the quarterback's going to be empty because basically you're not going to be playing.
And the reason why I brought him on here, because he graduated from the University of Virginia. Not Norfolk State. Not JMU. Just Miss University of Virginia. JMU, just Miss University of Virginia. Yeah. The University of Virginia. So Stanford, University of Virginia, as far as public schools, public colleges, they flip-flop 1 and 2, meaning off times. Mm-hmm. So he didn't come from he didn't just go to any old school because they wanted him because he's athletic. He went because he had some brains.
Mm-hmm. But let's piggyback on that, right? Harrisburg High has never been, a phenomenal school academically.
No, which means you had to work even harder.
And like I told you, I come from a single parent home. So I beat all those odds. So, like I said, Deon, he has to somehow retract that statement at some point. You know what I mean? But like, you can't cross people off based off of their backgrounds.
Right. Hey, Jody. So listen. But then he goes on to say, that was the quarterback position. But then he goes on to say that his defensive ends or his defensive tackles can come from a single parent home because they're more hungry, they're more aggressive, mm-hmm. and they want to get their mom out together. How offensive is that? How offensive is that?
Yeah.
What are you saying, Deon?
He's using color without saying it.
That
does take a rocket scientist to figure that out. And like I said, I get exactly what he's saying. Hypothetically, you want an intelligent quarterback. You want the perfect type of quarterback. You want married family. You want everything. You want these kids to be on a rose petal, right? Yes. But that's not realistic. And then on defensive players are, especially defensive ends and linebackers, they are aggressive. You want them, whether they come from, a 2-parent home or not. You want aggressive. Yeah, you want that position to be aggressive.
Period.
And typically, when you break it down, you look at our inner cities. It's a lot of aggressive youth. It's a lot of anger. It's It's a lot of hurt, a lot of trauma that they want, like you said, to kind of use as that pedestal to get their family away from all the stuff that they had to deal with, so nobody else kind of has to take that road on no more. So it's calling the color without saying it, for sure.
Ray Bennett said he's checking all the boxes to be foolish. Brad Simpson said he sounds like Danny Sanders, not Deon Sanders. You know, sometimes guys get to a point or a status, and then they want to be something different. You know what I mean? So when he was at Jackson, right? Nah, we're gonna do this. He's down for this and that. You know, he looked like he was down for the brothers. He got to Colorado. He has never said nothing like this at Jackson. Mm-hmm. But now he gets to Colorado, D1, which he's always wanted to go. Proud of him. He got where he wanted to go. I ain't mad with that. But this is what you say?
Yeah, and it's shocking because I followed Deon.
Yes.
So like, Deon got started in coaching just from his kids and youth football and was paying for kids to play, taking them different places. So like his heart was definitely in it for the kids. He went to Jackson State knowing, you know, like no coach has ever went from a HBCU to a Division I football coach in the history.
Right.
So like he knew he was going against dangerously odds, right? So like following him through that, I'm 100% supporting, right? Now, these comments recently, they shock me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got me like, I want to pay more attention to him moving forward to see if this, I don't know what happened, you know, in this interview. Right. I don't know what he was thinking.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what he was trying to put out there, but it's making me more intrigued to pay more attention to him moving forward to see if he's actually going to get back to his true self. But like I said, I support him. You know what I mean?
We was Team Deon.
Absolutely. And like I said, he's done a lot for kids. He's saved a lot of kids' lives. You know what I mean? So I can't discredit and ignore that fact, but it's like you can't get to this.
Not at all.
You can't get to this point in life where you're in this pedestal. Yeah, absolutely.
So now Justin Witt says he's using his experience as his guide. We all do the same thing, just may not be bold enough to speak it publicly.
And that's the case with a lot of situations, but ultimately you have to know in today's world, especially with media and cut-ups and everything being every TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere, you got to be very careful when you have that much influence on what you say.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Justin, I know you got to keep pushing the envelope, Justin, but that's not pushing the envelope. Pushing the envelope is changing, is turning kids into winners. That's pushing the envelope, Justin.
And like I said, it's okay to use universal standards. Like this academic GPA. I get that. Now, quarterback, like I said, I want my quarterback to have a high IQ. I want him to be intelligent in the classroom. I get that. That's standard. That's standard for when you can say, you know, hey, I want my defensive ends to be fast. I want them to be aggressive. You don't have to put in the extra, you know, behind it on where they should come from.
Right. You don't have to, like you didn't have to. It's almost like you added a scenario that didn't need to be added. And it was almost like it was deliberate. It was a message. And what I want to say it just didn't fit.
It was a football message.
It just didn't fit. But he said it's scripted. Now he doesn't have the freedom to speak from the heart anymore. Wow, maybe so. Maybe going there they tied his hands. You know, I don't know. Or here's our message, because maybe they were afraid that now that Deon's the quarterback,
but see, I
mean the coach, that there's going to be a flood.
But I can't agree with that.
Okay,
because here's the thing: no other coach has ever said that.
Ever.
So if this is some controlment of higher level, then most schools will be putting that out there, not just him.
But did they recruit like
now?
that?
But like I said, he's
do they recruit like that?
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe
stereotypes of recruiting, for sure. Just like, but here's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. He's talking football, right? So I understand what he's saying. Just like as a receiver, you think of all receivers as black. You're not going to put a white receiver at running back or corner or running wide receiver, right? because it doesn't fit.
It doesn't fit.
Right. So I get exactly, he's talking football terms, but those are terms where it's like, you know what? This is kind of at our meeting table where the cameras ain't around. It's our coaching staff. This is what we do. Like, it's, people know exactly what the protege quarterback should look like. You know what I mean? And it's changing now because of all these quarterbacks, you know, that are coming into the game using this college football kind of schemes.
Justin, no other coach is prime time. Justin, we are prime time fans.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me, Justin? We are prime time fans. I'm telling you, that was way out of line, way out the box. And I just don't know where that came from. Don't even know. My buddy Derek from Canada said, "Are we talking hockey?"
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to hold that conversation.
Exactly.
Wayne Gretzky was done, I was done.
And he could walk right by me. I'd be like, the bull. Justin, we got to stop the cancel culture. We're not canceling.
No. I said I'm going to support him. I'm going to pay more attention to him.
Feel how they feel. Justin, come on, man. I'm not saying that. But if you think that you're in a society right now where that's acceptable, Justin, that's part of the problem. I'm just sorry, son. I mean, you know, I love you. You're my little nephew. But my goodness, woo.
No, Deon, like I said, I understand what he's saying. He said it completely wrong, and that's one of those closed doors conversations. So I get what he's saying.
It wasn't a joke, Justin. It wasn't a joke, though. He said if Kenny Robb said it in a joke, but really meant it, it would be okay. But it wasn't a joke.
But Kenny Robb doesn't have the power to recruit kids.
Yeah, I'm a comedian, and I can't change people's lives on a football field because of what I say on stage.
Yeah, he's offering scholarships. That's a big difference.
I love that. Yeah. So we have a responsibility. But now, what does that say to the student athletes that are linemen, that are defensive tackles? Mm-hmm. I don't have to be as smart. I don't have to be intelligent. Oh, how do you look at me? Do I look at you like a big oof? Mm-hmm. A oompa loompa out there? You give me because I'm just tall and strong and big, but I ain't got to have no intelligence, no football IQ? Is that what you're telling me? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that that's what he's saying, but that is the ideology.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, every football position has a makeup. It has identity to it.
Right.
You know, and that's what he was saying. But the extra part where you're saying, okay, where these individuals come from this type of background, these individuals come from this type, that's when you cross the line. Because that you don't have to say that. Like, people know.
Right.
Like, people know, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and if you follow sports and you follow these individual players, you know the cities that they come from, you know the high schools they played at, so you know the background and the baggage that they come with.
Right. As Myra Blackwell said, fantastic. You cannot label a person because they're from a single parent home. Correct. Mm-hmm. Do you feel his elevation has caused him to suddenly downgrade his race?
No.
And like I said, I don't think that.
One interview, I'm not about to, as they say, cancel culture.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do that.
No. Like I said, now it's going to make me pay more attention to his messaging and what he's delivering. Right. It's only going to put more eyes on it.
That's all it's going to do. Like, maybe that's what he wanted.
And it may be.
Maybe that's what he wanted, you know?
But like I said, I'm going to watch Colorado's
I'm going to watch Colorado State.
Absolutely.
I'm going to support Deon.
Absolutely. So I'm not canceling it at all. He's still one of the guys I look up to. I love football. His football mind. He is still the best
defensive back that's ever played the game.
And like I said, I can't ignore what he's done for the past 20 years for kids.
Correct.
I'm not about to act like that just goes out the window off of one interview. I'm not canceling him.
You're right.
I'm not saying I'm not supporting him. Now, can we call people out on moments? Yes.
We're supposed to.
Absolutely. When you're in that public eye, when you have that much power and authority, yes, you're going. That comes with it. That's responsibility.
I would say about 2 months ago, or a month ago, when he said he was going to leave, mm-hmm. and everybody was so upset that he was leaving, I came to his rescue on Kenny's Corner. You understand me? I came to Deon's rescue. That's my dude. You know?
Yeah, I supported him. I didn't feel any type of way.
Tressa Reynolds said, that's not how he meant it. I mean, that's good. That's your opinion, but I don't see how else he could have meant it.
Yeah, when you talk about race, certain backgrounds, you. So
Justin says, I just hate that we label people wrong for having their own opinion. But we're not labeling him, Justin, but we are. We have to check people. You can't just say anything.
If you talk to every football coach and they had a lie detector and they had to be 100% honest, they're going to tell you those same things Deon Sanders said. I want my defense and coming from whatever background. I want my quarterback. Right. Like I said,
they're going to say it, but they're not going to say it in public.
Yeah, you don't need to say that in public.
Right.
It goes without saying. Like you hear it all the time in sports, how they want the protege quarterback. He has to be, a different guy. Right. He has to be intelligent. He has to have whatever. They want your quarterback almost to have perfect life.
Right. You're right. So if you want to join on this conversation, give us a call, 717-889-7181. That is 717-889-7181. If you want to call in, Justin, if you want to call in, Justin. Justin, if you want to call in.
I'm not dropping Deon off of
I'm not dropping him. I'm not dropping him. But we need to be held to a standard. But look, my brother loves me with all his heart. But let me say something crazy.
Yeah.
He gonna check me.
As he should.
And that's all I'm saying.
And I guarantee
you gotta get checked.
I guarantee somebody in Deon's circle
already done checked him.
Says, hey, my man, that one.
Nope.
That one. Yeah, that one was like, we know what you're saying in a football. Like, if you play football and you in that world, you know exactly what he meant.
Right.
But those are some words you just can't say.
You just can't say it. You can't say it. You can't say it.
Yeah. Like, we know exactly. Like, in the football world, people, like, and that's probably honestly why it wasn't blown up on so many media sites and ESPN and everything. Right. Because in the football culture, we know exactly
what he meant.
But you just can't say that.
You just can't say it.
Because like I said, you X off, like I said, if come from a single parent and, I idolize Deon Sanders, I'm a 5-star quarterback, but come from a single parent. Now you're saying I can't come play for you, Deon, but I'm the #1 quarterback in the country.
So I'm not even going to try because you said I can't play for you.
All because of a background. Not because of who I am as a person today, right. What I'm capable of today. Yeah, so like I said, we know what he meant in the football community. We know what he meant. But you just can't say that.
Now, Brad said this is nothing new. Brad, and that's exactly what Mikell was saying. This is nothing new. This is how they think. Mm-hmm. And what we're saying is, we don't have a huge problem with how you think. People can think how they want. People can have their opinions on how they want. But what you put out there publicly, that's the thing that gets criticized. That's the thing. We have to watch what we say. That's why somebody writes their speeches and somebody reads the speech and somebody reads that speech and somebody reads that speech. Because you have to be careful on the message that you're putting out.
And maybe it's one of those moments where we're looking at it like this, but Deon was just being 100% honest.
He was being 100% honest.
Like that's a way we can look at it too.
He was being 100% honest.
Like I said, that's just something. Like I said, I wouldn't say that publicly.
100%.
And no other coach has.
Listen.
But every other coach in America history has agreed with what he said as far as that philosophy and that outlook. Right. But nobody's ever been bold enough to say it.
So let me tell you this, young people. If there's young people out here listening to me, let me tell you this. Keeping it 100, as y'all say, ain't always the best way in every situation. Sometimes you got to keep it 83%. Not 85. Sometimes you got to keep it 83%. But that keeping it, I'm just keeping it 100, will keep you unemployed. Do 83. Do 83. Do 83. Say yes, sir, then go to the bathroom and tear him up. Say what you want in the stalls.
Yeah. Like I said, they have them conversations, in team meetings. Like, we know, the football culture knows. But like I said, that's just something that, like I said, I wouldn't say publicly.
When you say we, you mean like with me, like me too, football?
Yeah, you're the football coach. You've been around enough.
You know, he been Kenny Riles out here on the football field. You know, went out there long when I was out there, or often. Right. Okay, Janine. Janine said, pick and choose your battles. Perfect.
Absolutely.
My brother used to always say, pick the battles that are important to you. Yes, sir.
Go ahead, caller. You're on Kenny's Corner.
Yes, sir. Just wanted to comment on the conversation tonight. I guess what I want to say is this. I hear everybody saying that Deon is just being honest and telling what he feels. And this is what other coaches think. But that's the problem for me. The fact that other coaches feel that way, to me, says, that they place a lot of, they've always maligned our black athletes for whatever reason, particularly for the quarterback position, their intellect. And so here he comes now saying the same thing they always say. Now, you say, well, he's being honest. He's just saying what they say. But why do you feel that way, Deon, as a black man who overcame odds in this sport? Why do you hold that? I expect them to have a minimalist view of black people and our upbringing and our way we were raised in our homes, etc. But I don't expect you who lived through that, Deon, to adopt that same mentality.
Good
That's
point.
what gets me. It's not about him keeping it real, but why do you feel that way? Why do you think a black person's background determines whether or not they can play quarterback for you? How did you arrive at that as a black man from Florida who came up through yourself?
Exactly.
You don't grow up with a silver spoon. Why do you think that? So where's this self-hate coming from, Deon? That you feel that way about black people.
Yeah.
And about black athletes. So that's the part that gets me. I ain't about keeping it 100. He was keeping 100. He was showing me that he's a self-hating black man. That's what he showed me. That's the 100 that I got out of it. So I just had to drop that on you, and I hope I didn't disrupt the program.
No, you didn't. You didn't. Thank you very much.
It's interesting because, like I said, it's hypocritical because his son doesn't fit his criteria, but yet his son is competing currently to be the starting quarterback for Colorado first game. So how does that messages look to a recruit or, a parent or family member that's watching this Colorado movement with Deon leading, and he's putting something out publicly, but ultimately what he's doing in real time is the opposite of what he's putting out.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the thing. So it's just like, whoa, bro, you talking like you down with
the Browns.
And my question would be, like, an interview person, if I had access to interview Colorado's football players, I'm asking his son, how do you feel about your dad saying the position that you're currently trying to start at has to come from a not a single parent home,
right?
But that is ultimately what he was raised in, because they divorced 2013. That's 10 years ago.
Right.
Like, that kid probably was in elementary school.
Right.
He wasn't developed. He wasn't being recruited. So when college coaches came to recruit him, they came to see one parent, either when he was with Deon or he was with the mom.
Yeah, that's right.
It wasn't like, hey, we're opening our house. This is husband, wife. This is our kid. No, it was separate.
That's right.
And I don't know how intelligent his son is, but did his son also already have a 3.5 GPA? I don't know.
I don't know.
I
don't know.
That's a good question.
It's a good question. And you know what? It's so funny that was such a good question, because now y'all back and forth. And I want the world to know that what's talking here are two UVA grads. I just want y'all to know. I just want you to know that this banter is coming from two UVA grads. Thanks for hey Joe. Thanks a lot.
Go Hoos!
We won tonight. We won.
Oh yeah. Pulled that out tonight over Carolina.
Yes, sir.
Woo.
Yeah, they're done.
So we're gonna take on one of these other teams tomorrow, NC State or Clemson. So
All right.
So,
Bring it home.
Love it. All right, gentlemen.
All right.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. So,
all right, take care.
All right, brother. So Brad Sims says, Brad Sims said he's going along with the program. He doesn't really feel that way. I don't know.
And like I said, that could be a public comment.
Right.
But behind closed, like I said, ultimately we're going to judge a person off what they actually do. We can say a million things.
We can.
But ultimately what you do is what we're going to, you know what I mean, hold to the fire. So if he walks out day one, his son is starting, and next year, you know, he has black quarterbacks coming in, could we really hold weight to what he said?
Right. Cecil McCray said we need a hand up, not another letdown, you know. So people are feeling different kind of ways behind that statement.
And you should. You should. And that's the beauty of humans. You can have your own
opinion,
perspective, but it comes from different backgrounds. Right. You know what I mean?
It definitely depends on your background.
Absolutely.
Janine Simpson says, in today's world, people are showing you who they really are. So believe them. Yes. It's Maya Angelou said it, when people show you who they are, you believe them.
Yeah. And like I said, for that situation, I can't erase 20 years of positive things that you've done for kids.
You can't.
Not off one moment.
Not off one moment. But we all, okay, I used to work for a company called the Pennsylvania Psychiatric Institute. And for the most part, my career was stellar. You know, I helped a lot of people. I mentored a lot of people. You know, I talked a lot of people off the ledge. I mean, that's what I did. I didn't restrain a lot of people, you know, because I talked to people. But there was incidents where somebody did a little something too much, and I may or may not have went a little bit too far. But you can't hold that one intense moment of my whole career. Mm-hmm. Everybody has moments in their careers. It's just moments. People always say, I had a bad day. No, you had bad moments within a day. Mm-hmm. But no one has a bad day.
And we know Deon Sanders, he wanted to commit suicide.
Huh?
He wanted to kill himself.
At one time?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Deon Sanders went through it.
So everybody goes through it. And so like Joe said, we understand how they think. Mm-hmm. But why do you think that way? Is the question, which is a great point, which is a great question. Mm-hmm. Why do you think like that, Deon? She said, Myra said, it's possible he feels that way because he has been elevated into what has historically been a white man's role. His perspective is now being seen from a different viewpoint.
Like I said, time will tell.
Yeah, time will tell.
He hasn't even been there 6 months. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of time left for him to show us who he is.
I tell you true, all this will go away if he's winning.
Yeah, but winning, but like I said, winning shouldn't cure a criteria.
No.
It shouldn't, especially when you're breaking down single parent versus not.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm not going to hold his feet to the fire that bad for this move.
Right.
You still have a whole season to play. They're about to start spring ball. Like, I want to see how this thing plays out.
Justin said, y'all lucky I can't get through the line. I don't know why you can't. Ain't nobody on the phone. Listen, man, if you take that cricket and get on a real phone, maybe you can get through. Do you need a number again? Here's the number, 717-889-7181. 717-889-7181. Come on, nephew. I know you didn't grow up uptown, but don't be scared. Oh, my goodness. Joe says, but has Deon walked back his statement? I haven't heard.
I haven't.
But that's the thing. I've been looking, Joe. I have not seen him walk back any statement yet.
The media hasn't even picked it up, really.
Yo, and that's
like it didn't go like a viral moment. It wasn't like a viral moment.
It did not go viral.
If you don't really follow it or like follow Deon or like the Colorado, you would have missed it.
Right.
You'd have missed it.
But we Deon fans.
Absolutely.
So we want to hear what Deon got to say. We proud of Deon. So Justin, I don't want you to think we just bashing Deon, but what I'm saying is, sometimes when you say something crazy, you gotta get shot. That's all.
Yeah.
He said it's an experience from his perspective. Okay. And he has way more knowledge. And Justin, I think you're missing the point.
No, we understand the football culture.
We
you know,
understand
I've
that.
been in it. I know how they evaluate. I know the criteria. I know the stereotypes. I know what they're looking for certain positions. In the football community, we 100% understand what Deon was saying.
Right.
But we just don't agree that it was right to publicly say.
Right.
You can literally see the stereotypes when they draft, when they recruit.
Right.
You can look on Saturdays and Sunday games. Look at the positions.
Yeah, I mean,
they look a certain way.
Because
that's designed.
That's why I designed. My running backs are black. My linebackers are mean, and my defense ends are mean and black. Yeah, we understand that. Receivers are black. Every now you get a little element going there and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Man. But Deon, Mikell. This has been a wonderful conversation. Thank you all for all your different comments on this subject. I appreciate all the support, the love, and the feedback. But I want to talk a moment about Mikell. You see, he has rebirth on his jersey. What is that?
Rebirth stands for respect earned by intelligence, resilience, truth, and humanity. So that's the second part of my nonprofit, which is Capital Rebirth. Capital, of course, is being that Harrisburg is the capital, and the rebirth is what I just said.
Yeah. You have invested, like Deon, a lot of your time, unpaid time, into children.
Absolutely.
I mean, you got this little flag football thing you do like the superhero dress up events and all that. I mean, you do a lot of what makes you want to do that?
Well, when I walk around, I drive around, and there's not stability in every home. Yeah. That's my motivation. I work with these kids. I know the label that they get isn't always a positive one, but that's what the media portrays.
Correct.
If you actually get to know these kids, they are intelligent. They're phenomenal.
A lot of good kids.
They get to the point of frustration because they don't have access to the resources and things that they may have interest in, or they feel like they may not be heard or respected in areas. So that is always going to be my driving force, because I said, these are innocent kids. They didn't ask to be here. They're here. So let's do what we need to do to make sure that they have the tools to be successful adults, because ultimately they're going to be decision makers for us too.
Is William Penn off the market? Is William Penn off the board right now?
They let us know last January that they had changed their minds and they weren't selling the building. They gave no reasons, no explanation, nothing. Like, we found out literally through the school board meeting that they had. So I don't know where, they stand with William Penn. I haven't seen any plans. I haven't seen anything, published. I know they're redoing Steele School.
For what though?
For elementary, I believe.
So they are bringing elementary back into the school.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's big.
But it's not. So when you look at the realistic situation, over the next 4 to 5 years, our school district is set to lose 300 to 400 students.
Yeah, we're losing.
There are currently, with the schools that we have, almost 100 vacancies, like 96. I actually looked today. Vacancies. So if you can't fill the current schools, and you're spending $20 million to open a new school, how's that going to get filled?
Yeah. Well, they shut the school down because of that, because they couldn't fill it. And they redid it. They redid the whole building.
Invested millions of dollars
before
they closed it.
And shut it.
Absolutely.
They put all that money in that school and then shut it. So reopening it to do what? To put 80 kids in there?
Repeat the cycle again.
That's insane.
Absolutely. Like, it's frustrating, because when we talk about our community, we talk about the major issues. It's poverty. It's crime rate. and it's blighted properties.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if not many people knew about our William Penn plans, but that was basically what we were going to do. We were going to bring the VOTECs and trades and apprenticeships back for opportunities for kids on one side and adults on the other side. So now our community, who has a lot of people who had run-ins with the law, can't get jobs that's going to create financial stability in their house, making $50,000, $60,000 a year. Now they can go get certifications in electric and drywalling and plumbing and all these different construction jobs, which infrastructure is receiving billions of dollars right now. You look around the city, there's projects
everywhere,
every single block.
Six in Raleigh doesn't even look the same anymore.
And labor unions are short.
So Amira says representation matters. Thank you, Mr. Mikell, for investing your time and giving back to the youth. So big ups to you, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mikell, have you ever considered politics?
So true story. I was going to run for mayor last election.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that stopped me was we had an active bid for William Penn at that time. So crossing, trying to run for mayor and then trying to, develop a $200 million building and being able to go get state funding and federal funding, all these, it doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good. Right?
It doesn't look good, and I want to steer away from that. And ultimately, my plan was William Penn was going to be a go because it's been sitting for 13 years. They have no plans for it. They had no funding for it. We had all that. So ultimately, I think, that plan would have had a bigger impact than City Hall because now we're hitting all the angles that are not hit. Like when we talk about the jobs and our, like example, let's take the courthouse on 6th Street, right? $200 million project. Well, everybody complains there's no black contractors or subcontractors, right? Well, if they open that bid solely to minorities, do we have enough minority participation in business to take that project on?
We do not.
Absolutely. So now William Penn would have been able to get these individuals in our community certified. So now we can start to build a bigger portfolio and take on these projects. And now ultimately we say, well, they got to go to jail to that's their time to repay their community, right? Now they're home, then they get jobs, and now they're rehabbing and fixing up the communities that they once destroyed.
Yeah, you're right.
And like I said, right now, people don't know, Harrisburg School District pays $3 million for 200 students to attend Dauphin County VOTEC School. Now, if you talk to the kids that attend that, it's not a good environment. It's racist.
It's racist.
Right?
It's very racist.
Like we can call a spade a spade.
It's very racist.
So when those kids graduate, Harrisburg doesn't receive those graduation numbers either.
Wow. So
we were going to flip it. We proposed to them 75 classrooms, 25 students per, with $15,000 per head. That's $27 million the school district makes. And they get the overflow from other districts who kids can't get into VOTEC. And now that 1,800 graduation now becomes Harrisburg's.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new mayor. Because William Penn's off the market, right?
Absolutely.
So, are we going to make the push?
I'm not going to say that.
Okay,
Wanda Williams is, she's just getting in there.
Oh yeah, she's doing her thing. She's doing her thing.
I want to see her blossom. I want to see the city blossom.
Wanda's my girl. I'm just saying.
I'm not going to stir no fire. I'm cheering her on.
Janine said yes.
It's Women's Month. We're supporting our women.
It's International Women's Month.
Hey, still women.
It's International Women's Month. So you from uptown, we. Oh, we ain't got nothing to say to you from uptown.
Nah, I want to see her do good. Yeah, ultimately, if she does good, then the community does good.
That's right. That is so true. So, like I always say, this is the fastest hour on the show. Oh my goodness! Thank you for everything. Mikell. Thank you. You've been a wonderful, wonderful co-host. Super, super smart guest. You got a lot going on for yourself, man. You just keep going. I called you and you was working with kids when I called you.
Absolutely.
It's like this dude is just working with kids like all the time. Like you just young enough and got enough patience because, no, I might have to kick one of them kids like a little chihuahua. Man,
I pay homage to the Coach Cam, Coach Daz, Coach
Bray,
Coach. Those guys, they sacrifice a lot of time too, and they help mold a lot of us, and I was one of them.
Yeah.
So to me, it's only right to repay that circle.
A lot of busting.
Absolutely.
A lot of
fun
buses.
times.
A lot of buses. A lot of buses.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's our time. That is our time. And like I said, I can't control what happens on the streets of New York, D.C., Chicago, or Pittsburgh. But I can always control what happens right here on Kenny's Corner. And we out of here.
All right.
Here you go, sir. One boy, Damian Robinson, said, I'm really enjoying this segment.
Nah, it's a lot that can be done in this city, man.